Hey, Vice President Al Gore. I just watched your keynote from San Francisco Climate Week, and I wanted to give my response. You are a major leader in the climate movement, but you've been saying that direct air capture is preposterous for over a year now. You've been joking about the machines being, quote, ridiculously expensive and hilariously impractical giant mechanical vacuum machines. You have a huge reputation in the climate world, and what you say makes a massive impact. You've ridiculed the current technology for direct air capture, but here's the thing. Direct air capture technology is new. You oversaw the growth of the internet and the growth of computer technology and information technology from big machines and that took up entire rooms and sucked up tons of power to things that are in our pocket and guide our lives every day. And so the same thing is possible for the cost of direct air capture. And our goal as an industry is to innovate and drive costs down for carbon removal. With your reputation in the climate space, what you're saying can hurt and does hurt our ability to innovate. Investors hear you cutting down the industry, and as an icon, your voice matters. If you push investors away from carbon removal, you're driving out innovation in carbon removal that we do need. We need to be investing in innovation of this technology now so that we can advance it fast enough at a pace to make meaningful impact on the climate. Now, you've talked about direct air capture as if it's the entirety of the carbon removal industry. And so maybe you don't know about the other carbon removal solutions that exist. If so, with how much impact your reputation has in the space, it is mission critical that we get this sorted out. There are many, many, many ways to remove carbon dioxide from the sky other than just direct air capture. There's biochar, improving soils, oceans, rivers, even rocks are good sponges for carbon dioxide. We just had a team on the cover of the New York Times in September working on rivers as carbon sinks. And last week, during Climate Week, a team working on using rocks as sponges for carbon won the $50 million prize from the X Prize carbon removal. There's a lot more out there than direct air capture. I also want to talk about on fossil fuel companies using carbon removal as an excuse. You had said, they're saying we don't have to stop burning fossil fuels at all. We can actually continue to increase the burning of fossil fuels because look at this bright shiny object. We've got this vacuum machine. Carbon removal is required alongside decarbonization. The consensus from the climate scientists at the IPCC is that there's no model for a stable climate without carbon removal alongside decarbonization. So, of course, we need to decarbonize. We need to stop putting carbon dioxide into the air. And we've put so much carbon dioxide into the air that we have to clean up tons of extra carbon that we've put there. So, I'm not arguing for carbon removal as an excuse for us to keep burning fossil fuels. And yes, the fossil fuel industry and fossil fuel executives have tried to use carbon removal as an excuse to keep polluting. But there is an entire industry of carbon removal companies that I work with that have nothing to do with that. That have nothing to do with fossil fuel companies and everything to do with a stable climate through decarbonization and carbon removal. The climate science consensus is we need to do both. We need to stop burning fossil fuels and we need to clean up excess carbon dioxide already in the atmosphere. So we need carbon removal. We need a lot of it and we need it fast. Al Gore, you are an icon in this space, and I want to make sure that you're up to speed on everything in carbon removal. Now, it's possible that you're listening to this and you're Al Gore, which is awesome. But there's also a 1 in 8 billion chance of that. So it's also possible you're not Al Gore. And I'd love to get connected to Vice President Al Gore to have this conversation with him. So maybe you know somebody that's connected. Maybe you know somebody that's been part of his work or part of his different projects and could get us connected or to one of his advisors or something like that. And I would love to have that conversation with Al Gore and make sure this message gets to him. It's really at a critical time for carbon removal. It is an essential piece of the climate puzzle, and we can't risk leaving it out. there is no model for a stable climate without decarbonization and carbon removal together.